Okay, you gotta stick with me to the end here, all right? The quickest way to humble any guitar player is take away some of their knowledge, all right? So what I did here is I took away my complete knowledge of the fretboard. I don't know what any of these notes are anymore, all right? And here's why. But let me tie it into a quick story. You're gonna love this. So I had a friend, lower intermediate player back in the day, was getting all excited. He's like, I'm getting so good. He's all, I got the song I wrote, first original, I'm gonna show you. And he said, well, let me go grab something out of the kitchen to drink and I'll come back. So when he ran off, I quickly tuned his guitar from standard into some crazy wacky tuning, all right? So what does that do? When you do that, you take away, like this is no longer a C, okay? That's no longer a C major bar chord. That's no longer an A minor triad. So what this forces you to do is to hunt for sound. So my friend comes back, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I already said this, but I just want to know the chords. He's all E, you know, E, G, D. I'm all, cool, let's hear it. So he sits down on the couch, he's like, look at his face right when he hit the E, he's just like, he kind of keeps going. He's like, he doesn't know what's going on. And I'm down. By this time, I'm like dying in gut laughter. So he's like, what? I don't get it, man. Like, what happened? I was like, dude, I tuned your guitar to like an alternate tuning, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was, but he's like, well, what is that? So that's the focus here. So I kind of explained to them what they were used for. I used them to bust out of plateaus. I use them to humble myself. Okay, so here's what's cool. You don't lose, you know, you can be a beginner, intermediate, advanced. So you don't lose your ability to strum, okay? You don't lose your ears, you're gonna keep hearing. And what you do is you don't lose your ability that you've made all those shapes, right? So like this right here could be construed as, if this was in I'll talk about everything as if it's in standard tuning, okay? But that could be like a root major third. This could be a root minor third. This could be a root minor third interval. This could be, so what you're gonna do is just take a standard power chord like that looks like this, okay? And you're gonna move it around. Now, I should have told you already, this is tuned to G major 7. So it has G, B, D, F sharp, okay? So you have to take, I put this in the description, because so this is a D, okay? Drop the E to a D. The A goes to a G, D stays a D, okay? Now you gotta drop your G to a F sharp. There's your major 7, G, B, D, F sharp. There's your music theory for the day. And I'm gonna have a music theory, some series coming out every Monday. B, and then you drop the high E to D, okay? That's beautiful, right? Okay, now, one of you told me, I'm a beginner, I can't do this until I learn standard. No, you can, okay? Connect the dots, connect the dots. I'm gonna show you all these little pieces of sound. Like, listen to this. Here, just real quick. Okay, so that right there, and to tell you the truth, where I got this tuning from, I was listening to Smashing Pumpkins, a song called 33. And I didn't try and figure out the song, I was just kind of hearing like a tonal center to it. And that's what I heard in my head, so I decided to tune my guitar like that, and I got pretty close. The song's kind of something like this. Anyways, not the song, but the idea is you're gonna use your ears, you're gonna use your skill of strumming and making chord shapes, and then you're gonna bookmark that in your brain, okay? And then you can get like an app or something, and you can actually, like, let's say you want to know what this chord is. I have no idea what that chord is, okay? Because again, I took away all of my knowledge when I tuned my guitar to G major 7, all right? Or if I go like this, I have no idea what that is. Again, I'm hunting for sounds. You hear me on this channel all the time. Connect the dots, connect the dots. So you're not gonna worry about flubbing up rhythms. You're not gonna worry about anything except finding shapes, moving them around, and connecting dots, and possibly creating something that sounds amazing. The coolest part about this, and you drop in the comments, let me know what you find, is that you just get these sounds you could never finger and you could never get in a standard tuning. You just can't, okay? So try things like this. I've never really done this one, but it does have a very Smashing Pumpkins-esque type tone to me. You'll hear what I mean. So try finding things with your fingers and with the pick. So here's a couple of dots of sound that I will connect, all right? So this one I love. Now check this out. If you want to copy this, I'll see if I can show you this. So I'm on the D, G, and B string, okay? So I'm right here. I got my first finger on the 5th fret, all right? And just rewind this and look. So I got this little thing, no picks, I got this. See that? I'm just moving my first finger around. You have one finger, right? Doesn't matter. Is this an advanced guitar player move? No. Now maybe this part's a little harder. Just simplify it. Just go like this. Let that sound soak into your ears. If you want to get a little more advanced, maybe finger pick it or do a percussive thing. A little more advanced, or arpeggiate. Now I like this little bend. And then I was like, okay, well, how can I expand that? How can I further take that further? So I go, just this is the best ear training. See that? That's kind of a shank note. See that right there? That's very dissonant. So I wouldn't use that. Or maybe I would. I love this chord right here. Everything's on the 3rd fret. Again, you're gonna hunt for your own sounds, okay? I'm not worrying about things, okay? And this is kind of a beautiful run right here. So here's how you could do it like a strumming fashion. Again, we're hunting for sounds. We're connecting dots of sound. Okay, hopefully this Martin's holding on. It's got really old strings, but you guys get the point. So I love this. This is one finger on the A string on the 4th fret. Listen. Okay. Now, let's say you're a total beginner. Watch this. This is really good. Okay, this is good for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. You see, if you go on the 12th fret, you get those harmonics, okay? The better you guys get as guitar players, the lighter your touch gets, okay? So this is kind of cool to get a really light. You can't push down to get harmonics. You're barely touching right over the middle fret, right? So watch this. This one's super cool. I found this. So this is like I'm gonna relate it to, I'm gonna speak in terms of language like I'm tuned standard, all right? So if I'm doing a power chord, what chord this is, I don't know, okay? But, so that would be, if that were a normal tuning, there's your A. See that power chord shape? And then I'm gonna move it down to here, to like where I'd be an F sharp. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw these little harmonics in. I'm gonna arpeggiate this. So if you're a total beginner, just see if you can get this like this. Okay, down to where the F sharp would be. Okay, now if you're a little more advanced, see if you can do this thing. This is for the light touch. Again, this is how you bust out of plateaus, but by default, you acquire all these new skill sets that you didn't know you had or you needed. So watch this. And this is building like a really good internal rhythm. No metronomes, I'm not messing with any of that, okay? It's like you're cutting a record to tape, okay? No metronome, here we go. So again, what that is, it takes a major level of control to pick this, right? 1 and 2 and just 8th notes, 1 and 2 and. I'm just arpeggiating the E, A, and D string. You're gonna find in open tunings or alternate tunings, take advantage of open strings as much as you can. It really just heightens everything, especially if you're by yourself, all right? So I'm going, see that? I'm barely touching, okay? Okay? Now here's another one. So finger picking. You can even try and finger pick it, okay? Okay, that's a really good rhythmic thing. All right, now let me talk about shapes. You're learning shapes. Look at this. If I made that shape in standard tuning, you'd be playing a C major chord. Let's just go like this. So here's another shape and move it all the way up there on the A string on the 12th fret. Just like a C, I'm just getting rid of that note. Okay? Watch my hand. And then I go. Okay, now if I put that into like a whole rhythm, let me show you a little more advanced thing. Here's where I start connecting the dots of sound that I found. So I'm gonna kind of improv this, so if I butcher this, put some cotton in here so they don't bleed everywhere. But this is kind of the idea, okay? No pick. Okay, let's see what I can come up with. Okay. That was kind of choppy, but you get the point. So then you kind of just get a groove going, all right? If you want to get a really jammy thing, let's just kind of wrap this up with the picks. So your homework is, I don't care if you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, just take some shapes, move them around, use one finger, find something, okay? So like this one, okay? And then this is more of a chordal thing. Then you can take your iPad, you can find an app, and then you can, find a chord, put the notes on there, set up the iPad to be in the tuning you're playing in, put the notes, and it'll tell you. And then you can actually have a friend who's playing in standard. You see, that's how you're making layers. That's how you're making music. That's what all this is about. So what if we do, and throw in some rhythmic things, okay? So I'll try and do some rhythmic stuff. So all right, so that's it. I don't want to take up your whole day, but my point in this being is when you hit a plateau, I don't care if you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced player, start exploring these kinds of tunings right now. There's so many. One of the first ones you're going to do is just drop D, and you're going to be able to, I could do a power chord with one finger, and it sounds killer, but the whole goal of guitar is to have fun, all right, and to grow and connect the dots. All right, now if you made it this far, you are on Team Jellyfish, so drop that in the comments. And if you've ever used any cool tunings, drop them in the comments. My plan with you moving forward on this is to maybe create some original compositions and just for you to start getting good at taking these shapes. So all the shapes you're making in standard tuning are applicable to other tunings, but you lose your knowledge of the fretboard. If you have every note memorized, well, guess what? You don't anymore. So now you're gonna just completely depend on your technical skill set as a guitar player. All right, hopefully this makes sense. If not, hey, this video bombs, I'll just remake it. But that's how I kind of humble myself as a guitar player. Oh yeah, and try that one time if you're, if you're ever at your friend's house who's another player, ask them if they can show you a song, but try and catch them when they go off and tune their guitar to another tuning and then hand it to them and say, oh, let me check out that song. All right, that's it. You guys are awesome. You're amazing. Only you can stop you. You're not going to stop. Keep going. See you in the next video. Later.